Thanks for joining us in TVC Midday News. We begin in the nation's capital, Abuja, where the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, says that no law in Nigeria that prevents the prosecution of minors in criminal matters, including treason. He said this at the grand opening of Law Corridor's new office complex when he answered questions from journalists. The AGF was responding to widespread views regarding the Federal High Court recent order to release about 119 nationwide protesters, which included minors and adults previously arraigned by the police. He emphasized that the president's decision to have them released was motivated by compassion as a father, despite the facts available to security agencies regarding the suspects.
If you look at what the facts in possession of the security agencies, you will marvel. But the president has come out to say, in spite of all this, I have children, I have grandchildren, if not great-grandchildren. And that was what motivated his largesse or his passion to release them and also enable them in some ways. So the credit goes to him for giving a compassionate consideration to the release, the treatment of the young chaps that were released. But let me seize this opportunity to clarify something. People were under the impression that because they are children, they are minors, all sorts of theories have come up. There is no law in this country which says a minor cannot be tried. And I've also heard, oh, they should go to a family court. A study of the law and the Constitution leaves you to no other conclusion that it is the Federal High Court that has jurisdiction in matters bordering on treason and allied matters. So the chapter is, but what about the situation? The president has closed the chapter by his decision to have these young men released.
And to other matters, President Bola Tinubu has approved the reappointment of the Director General, National Biotechnology Research and Development Agency, Professor Abdullahi Mustafa, for his second tenure of 5 years. His reappointment was conveyed in a letter signed by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume. Industry experts consider his reappointment as an expression of President Tinubu's confidence in his ability to drive innovation towards attaining food security, pharmaceutical production, and position Nigeria at the forefront of the fourth industrial revolution. Meanwhile, in a bid to mitigate the effects of shortage of food production in the country, the Minister of Science and Technology, Uche Naje, has flagged off the distribution of the fertilizer palliatives to people and farmers in Enugu State. The distribution took place at the All Progressives Congress State Headquarters in Enugu. Senior reporter Bamidele Ajayi has more.
Selected farmers from various political wards in Enugu State are here present to receive the palliative. Nigeria Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Naje, is behind the distribution at the APC State Headquarters in Enugu. Flagging of the first phase of the distribution exercise in line with the renewed hope of the president, the minister emphasizes the essence meant to boost food production in the country.
We are laying emphasis in this government more on farming, and from farming under science and tech.
Pro-Chancellor of University of Agriculture Umudike highlight the essence of engaging in all-year farming that is supported by incentive to achieve sustainable farming for consumption and export.
So if in November, the federal government, through the Minister of Innovation, Science and Tech, is already giving fertilizer, that means that by February, farmers are preparing ground for farming.
And these beneficiaries appreciate the federal government for the gesture.
The fertilizer that he gave us, for us to use it in our farm, I'm very happy about.
The Minister of Science Innovation, remembering Enugu State today, is a great thing to me.
Several bags of fertilizers were distributed to farmers across the 17 council areas and 2 city political words of Enugu State.
TVC News, Enugu.
And to address food insecurity in Nigeria, the federal government is training youth and women on modern agricultural techniques to improving yield crops. This effort is to encourage youth to go into full-scale agriculture and also ensure food sustainability in the country. Senior reporter Prince Uba reports.
Agriculture remains the largest sector in Nigeria, contributing an average of 24% to the nation's GDP over the past 7 years. But the sector's stunted growth in the recent times is due to low productivity, expensive inputs, and increasing post-harvest loss due to poor logistics and insecurity across the country. This training and empowerment event was organized by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture through the Federal Cooperative College Oji River in Enugu State in collaboration with the senator representing Imo West. Nigerians must make agriculture its mainstay, hence the need to train women and youth on the basics of modern agricultural skills so as to lift many households out of poverty.
Federal government has made a lot of impacts, huge impacts in the area of agriculture to many of our citizens, many of our people, in order to empower them.
For Senator Ositi Izunaso, this commitment is to ensure people have means of livelihood, especially now that the times are hard.
The government of President Tinubu is concentrating on food security. So because we are doing that, we are partnering with the Ministry of Agriculture to always bring these things nearer to the people. We don't want the situation somebody will say, I have no work, I have no work. You must have something doing. And the easiest thing to do is to get involved in agriculture.
The world is today suffering from food security crisis. And all of you today will be the vanguards of rearresting food insecurity to food surplus.
The participants say the knowledge gained from the seminar will be taken to the rural communities to boost agriculture.
If there's any time to look for food, this is the time that we are looking for what to put in our stomach, our children, our husband, our wives.
Agric, at this point in time in our nation where we actually need to go back to our farms, every family needs to get involved in farming.
The participants were trained in yam, onion and cucumber farming, and their seedlings will be given to them at the end of the training. Prince Oba, TVC News, Owerri.
The wife of Anambra State Governor, Noye Soludo, has flagged off the distribution of the tricycle plough grater seedlings to empower and build capacity of grassroots farmers in Anambra communities. The program charged enhancing food security, encouraging garden and vegetable market programs, was designed to boost food productivity and encourage massive food cultivation. Speaking while addressing stakeholders in Anambra East and West local government areas of the state, Noye Soludo says the equipment provided will enhance food production and aid evacuation of food produce.
The tricycles provided will help our farmers to evacuate their farm produce from farm gates to stores and markets. It will help to create market opportunities for our farmers. More so, this will help reduce the cost of production. I therefore call on all the beneficiaries to use this equipment.
The project aims to improve the income and food security of poor rural households engaged in the production, processing, and marketing of rice and cassava on a sustainable basis.
To enhance agricultural productivity and sustain food sufficiency, there is need to mechanize. And so today we are witnessing a dimension of mechanization that not only drives productivity, but indeed ensures that what is produced is preserved and not lost.
With the support, we are enhancing our farmers' capacity, that is the youth, the women, for improved productivity and access to markets. If you look down there, you see our tricycle. These tricycles are given to the farmers to evacuate their farm produce
from the farm to the rural areas.
And to Plateau, where the Minister of Women Affairs in Suleiman is calling on women in the country to continue standing strong and draw strength from the shared goal of advancing the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. The minister asserted during this year's annual council meeting of Women's Affairs Ministry that took place in Jos Plateau State. Senior reporter Funam Joshua has more details.
The National Council meeting provides the platform to monitor achievements, share knowledge and exchange expertise among stakeholders with a view to effectively and efficiently deliver on the mandate of the ministry. The 4-day event created avenues far-reaching and painstaking decisions to improve the lives and livelihood of women, children and other vulnerable groups in Nigeria. Minister of Women Affairs assures Nigerian women that she is poised and ready to work with them in delivering the renewed hope mandates of President Bola Tinubu. Several key and critical issues were deliberated in the meeting, with a focus on drastically reducing incidences of gender-based violence, structural inequalities, and other harmful practices that affect the well-being of women and children more.
They are focused on enhancing social inclusion and poverty reduction. To enhance the effective and efficient implementation of these goals, the Ministry will work to harmonize efforts, mobilize local and international resources, as well as strengthen partnerships and collaborations.
The whole essence of this meeting is to do a review of policies and activities of government that impact directly on women, children, and the vulnerable, with the aim of taking steps to either amend, revisit, redraft, in order to enhance the lot of women in the society.
And that any woman that is violently abused, any man that is also abused based on his gender, that we should go after them and ensure that the full wrath of the law is implemented.
The Renewed Hope agenda was commended for its steadfast commitment to women's empowerment and tireless advocacy for inclusivity and social justice across the nation. Funam Joshua, TVC News.